Today, the River Mur earns international respect as an exemplar of the successful reconstruction and revitalization of a river. As late as the mid-1980s, sections of the Mur saw it rated as one of the dirtiest rivers in Europe, and it was on the brink of becoming lifeless. Today, the second longest river in Austria can not only boast of very good water quality along its entire length. Since 2003, a comprehensive series of renaturation programs have been implemented, turning the Mur into an ecologically very valuable body of water. Along many sections, particularly in the area of the so-called Upper Mur, the river landscape has been returned to the state that originally arose naturally, before there was human intervention. Subsidized by the EU, these measures earned substantial recognition not only across Europe but indeed worldwide. As a consequence, the overall concept for the Mur was awarded the European River Prize in 2014. Furthermore, in 2015, the Mur was even nominated in the final for the International River Prize, thereby counting among the 3 rivers with the most exemplary water conservation in the world. The Mur is a 444-kilometre-long river that runs from its source in the Alps of Salzburg province to a point on the Croatian-Hungarian border where it joins the river Drava. In the province of Styria, the Mur is the main river. One of the principal areas identified for renaturation measures was the Upper Mur between Murau and Knittelfeld. Systematic river regulation, beginning at the end of the 19th century, caused substantial changes in the course of the Mur's flow. In many places, the river was regulated, straightened, secondary channels were cut off in order to drain large areas and make them available for agriculture. This had the consequence of not only radically limiting dynamic variations of flow, but also strongly raising the speed of flow, with an associated loss of valuable habitat for fish, amphibians and birds too. Recovering these habitats and regaining the river's original character, these were the objectives of the ambitious project called Murerleben, meaning Experience the Mur, through which pioneering work was achieved for Austria. Under the auspices of the Pan-European Habitat and Species Conservation Programme, Natura 2000, along the Mur, numerous habitats were placed under protection for various species of animals and plants. In these areas, nature conservancy projects of pan-European significance have been subsidized by the EU under the auspices of the LIFE programme. It was in the period between 2003 and 2007 that the first measures directed toward maintaining or restoring natural habitats along the Mur were implemented. These then progressed in a second programme from 2010 till the beginning of 2016. A total of €5 million was invested. Half of the costs were covered by the EU. A large number of institutions, authorities, municipalities, owners of fishing rights and landowners pulled together over several years with the common aim of enabling and realizing this project. At a total of 18 locations on the Upper Mur, significant steps were taken to maintain species diversity, energize the dynamics of changing flow rates in bodies of water, and improve passive flood protection. These measures involved the purchase of 50 hectares of land along the Mur. The Natura 2000 area was extended by about 20 hectares. Guided by ancient maps, former secondary channels of the river were built anew or refreshed. Bank revetments were removed, whilst gravel and sandbars were created in areas close to the flow. A natural river system close to original conditions was created. The widenings and new secondary channels add up to a total length of 10 kilometres. Pools for amphibians and moist areas aid the development of alluvial forest and the recreation of valuable habitat. Over an area totaling 20,000 square metres, new pool areas suitable for amphibians were created. As a result of the secondary channels with new inflow zones, contiguous stretches were created over kilometres. These are rich in structure and, in the event of flood, they offer the Mur more space for higher runoff. Such extensions of the natural flood retention area serve to dampen flood surges, thereby playing a significant role in flood protection. Alluvial forests and swamp areas can be replenished by floods once again. In this way, 20 hectares of existing alluvial forest were secured. Over a further 23 hectares, new alluvial forests have a chance to develop and thus to offer habitats for particular species of birds and other floodplain inhabitants. The yellow-bellied toad could be said to be a pioneer species, given that it quickly discovered and utilised the newly created spawning areas, such as the floodplain ponds on the Mur. This toad prefers primarily small, shallow areas of water exposed to sunlight, where the water warms up quickly. Italian crested newt had all but disappeared as a result of water pollution and the destruction of its natural habitat. But now, individuals of this species, so highly endangered in its forest environment, can once again be encountered. The measures have also had an extremely positive effect on fish stocks. Population levels have risen once more, whilst species diversity has rapidly increased. The so-called king of alpine rivers, the Danube salmon, had been under a strong threat of extinction and is to be found in only a few rivers in Austria. It prefers highly structured flowing watercourses, also passing over level gravel areas, as found along the Upper Mur. The bullhead is particularly at home in the Lesser Au area. It needs rapid flows rich in oxygen. Unhindered passage through watercourses is an absolute necessity for all creatures that live in flowing water. At one hydroelectric plant, a fish bypass was constructed, with the result that fish now have access along a 90-kilometre stretch of river. The renaturation measures along the moor also offer people new opportunities for recreation. The banks were made accessible so that people have the chance to explore and enjoy these jewels of nature, on foot or by bicycle. From the very beginning, children and young people from the region were involved in the reconstruction of the Upper Mur and were subsequently rewarded with the Environmental Protection Prize of the province of Styria. Building on this success, associated school projects played an important role too. Nature and the environment, art and creativity, technology and handiwork, by and in the moor, all featured in these endeavours. The school children have designed benches and explanatory signs. They create recipes, take over guardianship of saplings they themselves planted, and get involved in school projects about the freshwater ecology of their provincial river. The LIFE projects, realised along the Upper Mur through collaboration between the Departments of Water Management and Nature Conservation in Styria and supported by the European Union, have changed an entire stretch of landscape. The river, as a source of habitat, is once again becoming the centre of attention. Animals and plants benefit from new habitats, and people at large rediscover the huge value of intact river landscapes. Today, the Mur is once again one of the ecologically most important rivers in Austria.